Hello everybody, this is a video support tutorial for lesson 1 of the beginner guitar booklet. In this lesson I'm going to take you through 4 things. Firstly, I'm going to show you how to hold your pick or your plectrum. Second thing, I'm going to show you the first note that we do in the booklet, which is the note E. We play that on the first string open of the guitar. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little warm-up exercise that you can do to use your first and your second fingers. That's your first finger on your left hand, that's your second finger on the left hand. And then the fourth thing I'm going to show you how to do is to play the chords E minor and D9/6. So let's go. First off, with holding your plectrum, you hold your plectrum or your pick in your right hand, and if I can just give you a little bit of a close-up here, just sit the plectrum down on top of your index finger on your right hand like that, and then just bring your thumb down over the top, so just holding it like that, with just a little bit of the pick extending past your index finger and your thumb just sitting gently on top. Don't grip it really tight, just hold it comfortably and firmly so you don't drop it. A couple of things to avoid: don't bring your middle finger into the act. It's just your thumb and your index finger like that. Okay, and then you're ready to play. Okay, so our first note E, and you can see on your worksheet that's written in the top space of the stave. Okay, and we're going to play 16 of those. We've got 1 per beat for 4 bars. That's going to be 16 E's. Here we go. Just small movements with your right hand, so you don't need to use your left hand. You can just sort of sit your thumb there and leave your fingers waiting to do what they need to do. Here we go. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. And you might notice that just here I'm doing a little bit of what we call bracing, just holding my pinky finger there on the face of the guitar. Some people like to hold those 3 fingers there. There's a bit of bracing. Some people brace just with 1 finger, so it allows these other fingers to be used to pluck the strings as well. But so that's the first thing you needed to do in the lesson. The second thing was a little warm-up exercise for your first and your second fingers. And what happens when you put your fingers on the first string, or on any string, but this time we're working with the first string, we go right on the very tip of our finger. You can see when I press down on that string, I end up with a little dent that you can see, that dent just on the tip of my finger, and that's where you want to be having your finger on the string. And then when I put my second finger on, you'll notice that I need to stretch out and get a bit of space. So this is the exercise. I'll show you. So starting with an open string, open E on the first string, then first finger down. Now I add my second finger, back to my first finger, and you can repeat your open string if you like. Okay, so that's a little warm-up exercise just to start getting strength, accuracy with your first and your second finger, and just getting that picking motion going in your right hand. So remember, in your right hand for picking, single notes, very, very small movements. Okay, next thing I wanted to show you was the chords E minor and D9. Okay, so with our left hand, I'll give you a close-up here. Here's an E minor, so I'm using my first and my second finger again, and I'm placing them just there in the 2nd fret on the 4th and the 5th strings, and that's an E minor chord. You've got the chord diagram on your worksheet. Now with my right hand, with my pick, I'm going to brush my pick past all those 6 strings. I don't do it too hard. A trap is that you might chop and go really hard and you don't get a nice sound. So just brushing the strings past, brushing the plectrum past the strings. Here we go. So that's E minor. Now the next chord is D9/6. And I'll give you a close-up here. To get from E minor to D9/6, I just take my second finger and I just drop it down 1 string. So here we go. So, and just a good idea to practice, there's E minor, D9/6, E minor, D9/6. Now you notice my first finger doesn't move. E minor, D9/6. So my first finger is my pivot finger. A pivot finger is a finger that's common to 2 chords. E minor, D9/6. And it's a good idea to do that little practice just with your left hand. Don't worry about your right hand, just to get used to doing that change. Once you've done that a few times, you can play 8 strums on E minor, then 8 strums on D. Just down strums for now, D9/6 it is. Here we go. And that's that lesson. So do your practice. Practice makes perfect, and enjoy.